Hi singers and music fans, and welcome to my reaction and analysis of truly one of the GOATs. That's greatest of all time, in case you don't know. Whitney Houston singing One Moment in Time live at the 1989 Grammys. This was a song for the Olympics, and surely, truly, she is an Olympian singer. I'm a vocal coach and a professional session singer from the UK. I have sung with many a soul diva around the world myself. So I'm really excited actually about looking at this whole video because a student brought this to me recently and we watched a few moments of her performance of this song to see how she did it live so we could learn from the greatest. But I haven't seen it all the way through. So yeah, without further ado, let's crack on. Do I look all right in my headphones? All right, I am actually so excited about watching this because I know she's gonna kill it. Here we go. They don't write big power ballads like this anymore. The sentiment as well, right? If you're an Olympian, this has got to be so emotional.
Each day I live, I want to be a day to give the best of me.
Articulation.
I'm only one.
She always gets the story across so clearly.
My finest day is yet unknown. I broke my heart for every game to taste the sweet. Oh, I've faced the pain.
I feel like I want to sing along, but I won't.
I rise and fall. Yet through it all, this much remains.
Go on, Whitney. Here we go.
I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are a heartbeat away.
Yes, okay. I have to stop it because I know she's going to do some major leaping in intervals any moment, and I want to talk about that. But I just want to say, like, this is to me, this is why this proves that Whitney. I don't know. Does that look good? I'll take them off a sec. This is proof that Whitney, to me, is the greatest of the big ballad singers. That we kind of don't have anymore, right? So we had a lot of these power ballads in the 80s and even in the 90s, and these mega singers with huge epic voices and vocal chops and range for days to sing them. The one that I truly love is Whitney because she comes from this gospel background, right? So we know that there's footage of her singing in church at like 14 years old and still sounding this amazing. And we know that she comes from this incredible, fertile, rich gospel soul background. Her mother was a gospel singer. Dionne Warwick was a cousin, I think. Am I right? Or an aunt or something. And Aretha Franklin was almost like a godmotherly aunt type figure to her as well. So like she's coming from an incredible musical background to start off with. And it's that gospel soul fire that you hear in her vocals that I feel really sets her apart from other big ballad singers. And for me, the reason why I get like excited about hearing her sing, not just the power, not just the range, not just the poise, the performance, you can hear how well she articulates every line so you get the sentiment of the story across. I feel that she really is feeling the song. It feels genuine. She's able to get inside the story of the song and truly deliver it from the heart and the soul. And the other thing that I love so much about her delivery is that the little riffs she does, the melisma, the riffs and runs, the decoration, there's like a funkiness to it. There's a spiciness to it. It reminds me of like, Stevie Wonder. It just adds some extra depth to a power ballad that when you've not written your own song, and a lot of the time, especially at this period of her career, she wasn't writing these songs, but she's able to take that story and just make it her own. And it's these little gospel soul time, like all of those little things that she puts in, just add this flavor that I feel like elevates it to a cool level, even though some of these ballads are kind of, you could argue that they're a little bit cheesy, they're a bit of a guilty pleasure, but she just manages to cool everything up. So we're going to get to some of those big vocal leaps now, so let's take a listen.
The answers are all up to me. One moment in time, when I'm racing with destiny.
Yes!
And in that one moment of time, I will feel eternity. Yeah.
So let's talk about that big leap, destiny. It's very interesting. One thing that is like absolutely to her credit, and I mean this as a compliment, is that she's got this beautiful big mouth. I think so many great singers have a great big mouth, and it's actually an asset. It's not a bad thing at all. And she really opens wide on that destiny. She's almost singing destiny rather than destiny, like a more closed vowel. We know singers who are watching this, or perhaps music fans who are watching this and don't know, that wider vowels become easier to sing. It's very interesting. There is a closed vowel coming up that she still absolutely nails, and it's on such a high note as well. But that widening of destiny just loosens things up. I just want to point out as well that we see her head go back, and perhaps if you're a singer here, you're going to be thinking, well, my vocal coach or anything that I've seen in vocal coaching online has always taught me not to put my chin up, don't strain for the notes. But remember, Whitney is a master at this point in her career. She's absolutely mastered her technique. So that's not her straining for a note. It's purely a moment of expression. And I think that's so important. It's so important. It's so important to point out, because there's a difference between chin raising and straining for vocals and straining for high notes, and then just moments of expression that you see when people sing. My student, when she sang this, she absolutely did a really lovely job of this leap, because she just stayed so relaxed. It's important at this moment to point out that this live version is actually a semitone down. So on the original track, she goes up to a D5. I think she's going up to a C sharp 5 in this version. It happens a lot when you see your favorite music artists performing live. They're potentially in the middle of a massive touring schedule or a promo schedule, and just bringing that key down, if notes are really massive and epic, it can really just help them, save their voice. So we don't want, when I'm racing with dust, we don't want all of the pushing and the raising. We just want a really nice relaxed, when I'm racing with destiny. I also really love the way that she takes her time, and she takes a lovely big breath before destiny. The tempo feels a little slower than the original version. And when you're singing a ballad, it just gives you that space, When you're singing, think of breath as fuel, and you want to be refueling your journey as much as you can throughout the song. So she's really taking her time. She's really relaxed, and she has a lovely big breath. She just cuts that line, when I'm racing with a breath, when I'm racing with destiny. You want to look relaxed when you're going for these big notes. And that's what we're seeing here. She's super chilled. She knows what she's capable of. All right, let's continue.
I've lived to be the very best. I want it all. No time for less. I've laid the plans. Now here in my hands.
Go on, Whitney.
One moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are a heartbeat away, and the answers are all up to me. Give me.
Oh, so the thing that I love so much about Whitney is that she takes these big ballads, these kind of, you could call them a little soppy, slushy, guilty pleasure, cheesy ballads, and she just makes them funky, man. Like the way that she rephrases things, the way she adds her melisma, it's really gospel, but it's there's like this extra vibe and spice, and I'm gonna call it funk. She's bringing that into these sort of pop ballads, and I don't know, I always think that it just feels like she's singing in church. Do you know what I mean? It always feels like she's singing in church. Okay, here we go. More.
One moment in time. I'm racing with destiny.
Oh yes, okay. So, oh, that riff was nice, wasn't it? So the other thing that we're seeing here is a little anchor. I absolutely love anchoring and body use. If I was going to give a singer one tip, it would be sing with your whole body. And when we anchor, it's all about lowering the center of gravity. You see her do like a little tiny destiny. She's just coming down. It's not too much. It's not like we're doing any crazy kind of Beyonce style sort of twerking at this point. I should totally do a video on that though. We just see her take like a little curtsy. Now, for anyone who doesn't know about what anchoring is, it's if we just lower our center of gravity, we engage the core muscles naturally. So a singer is always trying to support from the core muscles. But a way that we can do that without even having to think about it is just if you think about lowering your center of gravity. Perhaps you're at home right now, you might want to try a little curtsy, a little squat, a little lunge, and you will feel your core muscles engage purely just to stop you from falling over. So we can use this wonderful automatic process in the body to really help us support our voice, particularly in moments when we're gonna really need it. High notes, sustained long nights, moments in a song where you've got a melody kind of jumping up to a little note quickly, and just a little anchor might help to support it and get it out. Think about it as you are bringing in that core muscle automatically. It's like you're pressing the power button to support the voice. And we see her do it so subtly here, but you will see singers use their body and anchor in all kinds of ways. Like I said, everything from Beyonce really juicing her voice for all it's worth by being very physical, all the way through to the subtlety of this just little curtsy she does on that top note. Let's watch it again. Here we go. Just want to point it out to you. It's tiny, so subtle, but it will have just helped her support that big note that much more. Again, super relaxed. I want to talk about how hard that is as well to get this note that she's on. So it's E flat in this version, but it goes all the way up to an E5 on the studio recording version. E as a vowel. Say it now. E. How does it feel? It feels tight in the throat. It's really wonderful if we're trying to get vocal cord closure and a clean sound. E, it's quite frontal, it's quite forward placed, so it does have its uses, but nobody wants to belt an E or an E flat 5 on an E vowel. but Whitney can. You notice that she keeps her mouth, it's still quite wide. She's quite loose. There's no extra tightening, but I'm going to try it now. I'm going to move back. Here we go. I'll try and do this in one day. So, but she was really nice and wide, so I just want to try that too. If we widen and we're almost smiling the sound, it feels like we're almost adding a little bit of natural twang as well, which is really, really useful for getting those high notes. But hey, I'll come back to twang in another video. Right, let's carry on with Whitney. Notice that little anchor again on dreams. Here we go. I heard this bit. Feels very spiritual. I feel like she's looking up to God. So we get a massive anchor there, and remember, we're now up a key. I love how she holds. So we're up to that D now. She really anchors deeply on this high note, and she really holds that note. And not only is it super impressive, but it's a really useful thing if you want to sing big high notes, if you want to sing difficult things, you have to tell your voice, you have to train it like a dog. You cannot shy away from these big notes. You can't like, oh, I'm just going to hit it and then I'm going to come off it as quick as I can. You want to sustain it. So we've got not just Destiny, she's not just throwing it out there. We've got a massive Destiny or something like that. It's never going to be as good as Whitney. I'm just vibing in the moment. It's a way of training your voice. This is what I want you to do. So if you're doing exercises, perhaps you're doing vocal arpeggios, you don't just want to do na 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 and get off that high note as quick as you can. You want to hold it. Na 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 na. My voice is a little bit more gritty than Whitney at this point in her career anyway. So yeah, she's holding on to that note because she knows that she can. She's establishing it. She's sustaining it. It's impressive. It's amazing. It's technically so on point. But also, like, the more you lean into it, the better that note is going to be. So don't shy away from high notes. Learn from the GOAT. Her riffs are so tasteful. E-vowel again, holding an E-vowel like that. Who can do that? Who does that like Whitney? No one does it like Whitney. Standing ovation. Amazing. That's the definition of amazing. It's a word that's used a lot, but that is the definition of an amazing vocal performance. She's really holding that eval again at the end. And she just fully lives the song. It's like she is an Olympian and she is going for gold, and that is what this song is all about. But with Whitney, you get that on everything that she recorded, everything that she sang, always going for fully living the song. Just amazing. When I was watching this with my student the other day, it got to that ending point because we skipped a little bit through the song. We wanted to see the end. It got to the end and I was looking at the screen and I had to compose myself because I just felt like I was going to cry. I was just frozen in that moment of time. Just astonished at her incredible voice, not just her technique, but her passion, her fire, her absolutely fully living the song, fully embodying it. So amazing. And then, of course, thinking about the absolute tragedy of how we lost her. You know, I just had a moment where I had to pull myself together before I could continue the lesson. What can we learn from Whitney? We can learn to trust ourselves and be relaxed as we sing. We can learn to slightly widen and smile, open those tight vowels. We've learned that anchoring, whether subtle or quite deep anchoring, is super useful for those high notes, for those powerful notes, for those sustained notes. But I think also what we can learn is that a song is to be fully lived, to be experienced, to take in the story, to make the story your own. Let the lyric sheet inform you of the dynamics and the delivery and the tones that you should be using. She's going for gold on this Olympian song, Like an Olympian. And I always say that singing a big song like this, it's like getting in a boxing ring and you are fighting to win. And that's exactly what she does. So that was One Moment in Time by Whitney Houston. And thank you for sharing this moment in time with me. I so enjoyed listening to her sing and doing this reaction analysis video for you. I'm looking forward to doing more. If you want to find out a little bit more about me as a singer and a vocal coach, you can go to my website, singfromyoursoul.com. I will link it in the description. And if you want to buy me a coffee because you've enjoyed the video, I would so appreciate that as well. Link in the description. Please like, please subscribe. I'm excited to see you on the next video.